Saturday night is alright for fighting, and the last two Saturdays have been alright for ratings when it comes to AEW and Collision. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. The AEW Collision ratings are in, and once again, Collision has did back-to-back best ratings since February 10th. So last week was its best rating since February 10th. This week beat last week's and is still the best rating since February 10th, with an overall viewership of 467,000 viewers. Now, by no means is 467,000 viewers great. I'm not saying Collision should be celebrating that. I'm not saying it's a win for Tony Khan. But it is better than what they've been doing recently. It is a step in the right direction. And this week, they didn't have the help from the basketball lead-in and the whole WrestleMania week. So maybe you can say this is a better rating. However, it was a special edition. This was Battle of the Belts. So that it was hyped. It wasn't just your average Collision show. It was like a special edition of Collision, and they had like all these title matches, I guess, on the line as well. So, I mean, it's not a great rating. It's not a brilliant viewership, but it's better than I thought they would do. So, yeah, a little bit of credit then, I guess, goes to AEW. Like I said, it is the best viewership since February 10th, and it is the best demographic since March the 2nd. So, yeah, Collision coming in at 467,000 viewers. Other than that, not really a lot to talk about here. It's just, it's a bang average rating, but it's slightly higher than what they've been doing recently. So, that's it.
It breaks the trend of shite ratings. That's what you've got to say. I mean, since February, it's the best one since last week. They're going up, but can they maintain it? Probably not. I mean, like you said, Battle of the Belts. I just don't get this whole Battle of the Belts. I believe this is, the 11th edition? I've never watched Battle of the Belts. Why not just include it as like a special edition of Collision? I know they kind of do, but there's too many belts in AEW Collision, man.
Yeah, there's too many belts, and half of them don't mean shit.
Not just Collision. I mean, there probably is too many belts in Collision, but it's like Collision, right? Had all the jobber tag matches, then the Battle of the Belts has the title matches. Wouldn't the show just overall improve if you had the meaningful title matches on the television show rather than the extra hour shite show? Like, what's the point of 6-man tags and these? Oh, this match should have went 25 minutes. Well, how about you actually give your world title matches and your title matches the length of time they deserve?
Yeah, anyway, I agree that there's too many shite belts to talk about. Let's talk about the clips, though, the YouTube videos that have been viewed since Collision aired. Now, as of 3 o'clock today, these are the ratings for the highest viewed YouTube clips from Collision. Now, keep in mind that at 3 o'clock today, we're talking approximately 2.5 days since Collision aired, so about 2.5 days since these clips were uploaded, and the highest viewed clip was 186,000. It was the Blackpool Combat Club, Danielson and Cascanoli versus Don Callis' family, Hobbs and Fletcher. 186,000 views, and then the next highest clip was 91,000. It was the House of Black taking on Martin, Andretti and Sadal. Then below that, 80,000 was Tony Storm taking on Stardom's A-Said M in a title eliminator. We had in 4th place with 68,000 views, Shibata, whose nickname I guess is the Wrestler, 68,000 views. And then we've got Daniel Garcia, a guy that we're always told is like this megastar. Is he a professional wrestler? Is he a sports entertainer? Well, I'll tell you this, he certainly isn't a fucking draw, because he's only got 41,000 views. And I mean, that's embarrassing, man. We're talking 2.5 days later.
Surging.
And well, the views ain't surging, that's for sure. Daniel Garcia with 41.9k views after 2.5 days. So, I mean, a big concern here when you look at the viewership. I mean, people were saying that Tony Storm's doing the best work of her career, and she might be the most entertaining thing in AEW, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's over. I mean, she might be popular inside the arena, but there's not that many people inside the arena. When you look at the numbers, people aren't tuning in their drabs here to watch Toni Storm. Unfortunately, it's just not happening.
No, it's not happening.
And the biggest draws are the ex-WWE guys.
Yeah, you add these numbers together.
Danielson and Cascanoli.
No, you add these numbers together and you're barely getting over $500,000. Like, AEW is competition for WWE in a sense, right? But it's not proper competition. These numbers are nowhere near. Like, this is the secondary show. Like, these numbers are nowhere near Raw. Now, yeah, some stuff on WWE doesn't draw as well, but even the top drawing thing in Collision, man, is a drop in the water compared to WWE.
Yeah, we're talking NXT numbers here. No, not even NXT numbers.
Like, most people, I mean, I'd probably... Like, Daniel Bryan, right, is considered probably... Is Daniel Bryan considered a bigger star than Cody Rhodes?
Not for me, because Cody Rhodes is currently in WWE.
Yeah, but point is...
If Daniel Bryan was currently in WWE, I'd say he's a bigger star.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the feud difference. It just shows you, like, how you're booked and how you're portrayed and the exposure you've got can do for the feuds, man.
Yeah, but, I mean, these numbers, there's nothing special happening. It's just
tag matches, jobber fucking matches. Who cares? No one cares. No, there's nothing. Name me a clip here that you've got to see.
I mean, Mercedes Moné, about 6 weeks ago, she had over 1 million views after 4 days, and I mean, that it's just going to be rare. It's going to be like the really odd, rare clip that AEW can produce that. Because once people get in, they get settled in, they're just not watchable. No one's caring.
Yeah, but see, that's a debut clip, right? That's obviously going to draw. Like, is Mercedes... Look at her sit-down interview was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was like 65,000 views after a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, that's shocking. Like, CM Punk addressing the crowd at Raw exclusives getting millions. Into the million.
So, yeah, not good here. Like I said, the number was steady, but we'll see what happens next week when they don't have Battle of the Belts. And I mean, I'm sure Tony Khan will consider this a win. He's probably bragging on X right now about all the people tuning in to watch
Justified ratings.
He's probably, justified ratings, justified this is awesome chants, but at the end, I think the only thing really justified is the fact that we're all calling Tony Khan an idiot, and we have been for a long time, because he's got the money, he's got the ability to produce, I think, a good wrestling show that can compete with WWE, but under him, it's just never going to happen.
No.
It is what it is.
It can happen, and it won't happen. And it's reality that these people need to wake up to.
And another thing is, I mean, people always compare AEW to TNA. I mean, AEW should be beating TNA. AEW should be closer to WWE than TNA ever was, just due to the amount of money that they have behind them. But, you know...
Money talks, right? You switch the money situation between both companies and they're both in the opposite direction. Exactly what's happening. But yeah. I would say TNA, with the history they've got, I would have a bit more faith in them.
But you know what? AEW, they have outperformed TNA when it comes to attendances and like live gates and shit like that. But what I would say about TNA is, I don't think there was ever that kind of push behind them to do what AEW is doing. I think that TNA, if they attempted to do what AEW done, I think they could have back then. But see, selling out big arenas, that WWE weren't really doing that back then.
No,
that wasn't a thing. Like, see back in like 2008 or 2007, 9, when TNA was in its prime, WWE weren't going to the UK and trying to sell out 80,000 stadiums. That just wasn't what WWE were doing. Maybe at Mania they would do that, but even back then, it was like Mania was more like just big arenas. It wasn't really stadiums. So, yeah, AEW might have that. AEW can point to All Out or All In or whatnot, and they can say they've got the upper hand on TNA when it comes to the live gates, and that they've got more pay-per-view buys, and that they've got more people into the arenas. And that's true, they have done that. But I don't think TNA was really pushed that way when that was around. And if you look at the viewership, if you look at people actually tuning in, I mean, TNA's smoking AEW. I mean, it's not even fucking close.
Yeah, AEW, TNA, sorry, during like the Russo days. Hogan, Bischoff, these guys are considered a cancer to the company. But no, the problem is, TNA didn't have unlimited amounts of money. That's why it kind of died. See if Hogan and Bischoff and all these guys had the amount of money that AEW's got on offer, man. It would be so close to WWE.
TNA in its dying days was doing better viewership than Collision is right now, and we're led to believe that AEW is thriving. So, I mean, take that for what you will. Anyway, that's it. I mean, is AEW better than TNA ever was? I think it depends on what measure you want to rate it on, but for me,
what myth you're into?
Yeah, for me, it's not good. You look at the views, nobody cares. It's really low numbers, and it continues to be that way. Bryan Danielson seems to be the only guy that can get a half-decent number on Collision, and he's supposed to be the Punk replacement, and he's certainly not that. He's not CM Punk, he's not Phil Brooks, he never will be. Anyway, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.